Riverkeeper started working with the Erie County Soil and Water Conservation Service on Scajaquada Creek in 2002. Before that, we had only been working on the Buffalo River up until 2001. This is a contaminated creek with serious botulism issues, sewer pollution, habitat destruction, brownfields, Superfund sites, complicated hydrology. It goes underground. It goes through very, very different neighborhoods, and so the constituency varies, and deals with a major airport and a shopping center. Buffalo River is a fantastic model for what we can see happen on Scajaquada Creek. Riverkeeper took over the Buffalo River project from the DEC in 2002, and since then we've seen dramatic movement and action in terms of the organization of projects and the amount of attention and federal and state resources that have been brought to bear on the Buffalo River, so that we can actually see really long-standing problems solved. So we see the same kind of thing happening on Scajaquada Creek. Right now our current battle is trying to get the state to give a blessing on federal dollars that will help us really assess the contamination in the bottom of Scajaquada Creek. When people see those big piles of silt, they think that they're just harmless mud. But there's a lot of evidence that indicates that there may be hazardous chemicals in there, and that means that the way that we deal with it has to be managed very carefully.
The Conservancy has a plan, and it's a good plan. We're standing here in the middle of what was Olmsted's South Bay. It was inlets, and there was islands and beautiful bridges that connected this pathway. And it was filled in when the Scajaquada Creek was put into a couple of pipes and taken around the lake. And the polluted waters dumped down at the into the lower Scajaquada. And here at the Conservancy, what we want to do is recreate Olmsted's original vision with the inlets and the islands, but what we want to do is create a natural wetland area where the waters from the Scajaquada will flow into this constructed wetland. Wetlands will do what they do well, which is scrub the waters before they flow into the lake and downstream into the lower Scajaquada and into our drinking water in the Niagara River.
Thruway Authority is starting to look at opportunities to reduce the impact of the 198 Scajaquada Expressway so that we can open up new areas so people can get down to the creek and interact with it. Closer to the Niagara River, there is a project to look at how we can revitalize the brownfields that are the eyesore that is on the north side of the creek just before it meets the Niagara River. Simultaneously, we've been working very, very hard over the last 18 months with Buffalo Sewer Authority to not have Scajaquada improvements to the combined sewer overflows come in year 15 or 20, but have them move to the front of the list. And we've got a fair amount of confidence that investments over the next 5 years are going to really start to see those sewer overflow issues ratcheted down. I know that the Buffalo Sewer Authority is making investments. We're going to see a big drop in sewer discharges within the next 5 to 10 years. The sediment project, if we get started today, will probably be a 7-year project. But we're not starting today, and it might take us another year to get that one mobilized if everyone were ready to go. The window on that is really precious because right now the federal government likes the Great Lakes, and they're investing in projects that make the Great Lakes cleaner, and Scajaquada Creek flows into the Great Lakes. We also need people to use their voice. We need them to remember that Buffalo has a range of competing resources, and in those kinds of cases, the outer harbor is going to compete in some cases against Scajaquada Creek for priority, for transportation funding, for like the 198 project versus the Outer Harbor Bridge. Every community that cares about its neighborhood and its space needs to be really fighting and raising awareness and creating energy around those projects so that they continue to be competitive, and that our politicians know the good projects that they can fund, which aren't going to wind up in lawsuits, which are going to be really celebrated by the entire community. And Scajaquada has so many of those really great projects that with citizen advocacy, it's going to go a long way. In the meantime, every single person in the city of Buffalo can do something for their local waterway. If you have your gutters connected to your sewer system, it's spring, there's no excuse, you can get out and actually disconnect those downspouts. You just saw off the piece and put in an elbow or a splash pad. When my 5-year-old, by the time he's done with college, we could be done. I mean, we could be well on our way to seeing a lot of those things totally different, which for us is exciting. That means that when he wants to decide where he wants to live and where he comes to be, like Buffalo may not be the brownfield eyesore sewer polluted place. It'll be this place that people have really made huge investments.